prices in San Mateo this morning. If you have yet to fill up your tank, some good news. Relief from the sky-high fuel prices could be on the way. Today, state lawmakers are set to release details on a $400 gas rebate proposal. KPX5's Jocelyn Moran is in the newsroom with how this could all work. And Jocelyn, a lot of us have easily spent $400 on gas in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah, for sure, Amanda. The pain at the pump isn't hurting any less. Gas prices locally are still breaking records. So a group of state lawmakers are proposing $400 be sent to every California taxpayer, even if you don't drive. They're hoping the rebate will offset the cost of the 51-cent per gallon gas tax Californians face for one full year of weekly fill-ups. This would be using the $9 billion from the state's budget surplus. That plan for some drivers sounds like a pretty good idea.
Anything helps at this point in these times, you know, so $400 would be pretty cool.
Yeah, any amount would be great.
We mentioned those gas prices are still breaking records. According to AAA, California is at $5.79, in San Francisco $5.90, in Oakland $5.82, and San Jose $5.80. But at many gas stations, drivers are paying north of $6. This gas rebate proposal comes as Republican lawmakers are pushing to suspend the gas tax altogether. But Democrats say that would severely impact funding for essential transportation projects. Of course, we'll keep you updated on more details that are announced regarding this proposal. For now, in the newsroom, I'm Jocelyn Moran, KPIX 5.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's John Muro here. Welcome to our daily show where we will discuss what's going on in our country and things that you need to know about on a daily basis, as well as talk about some stimulus checks. Also came across some really important information on rental assistance. So if you've been struggling to pay your rent, you definitely don't want to miss this video. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope everyone is having a great day. Are you doing anything fun and crazy today? Do you live in a state where they dye their water green just to celebrate it? Which to me, that's pretty cool, and they're going all out. But let me know in the comments if you're doing anything special. All right, guys, I did a lot of digging, and when it comes to what's going on in the world, I feel like you should know what's going on, and don't worry, I've got some news about the stimulus that might really encourage you, just like the video I showed at the beginning. So that is definitely some great news. Hey, anything helps, so I'm glad that they're doing that. But I was literally blown away on this video, and make sure that you watch it to the end, because this lady literally just blew my mind, saying that freedom costs, and you know what? Let's shoot the planes down. Yeah, you're going to want to watch this video. So here it is.
Zelensky demanded the United States shoot down Russian aircraft over his country. The White House has not yet agreed to do that, but things do seem to be moving very rapidly in that direction. Not long after Zelensky's address, Joe Biden announced the United States will send a total of at least $1 billion of weapons to Ukraine just this week. Members of Congress from both parties then emerged to say they don't think that's enough. Watch.
And the lethal drones, we need more of those in country as well. You know, people talk about a no-fly zone when they can create their own if we give them the military equipment and weapons.
But there's a lot I think we can do to help Ukraine shoot down those Russian aircraft, bring down those missiles.
A package that includes fighter jets and air defense systems to the Ukraine immediately, so that we can have a Ukrainian no-fly zone.
What we need to do is make sure that Ukraine has the equipment it needs in order to defend itself, particularly the skies.
I think there's a bipartisan movement right here. Provide them the MiGs. Provide them the planes where they can create a no-fly zone.
So things are changing very fast. For weeks, leaders in Washington told us that an American-backed no-fly zone in Ukraine would be unwise because it would amount to an act of war against a nuclear-armed Russia. As you can see, those views have evolved a lot. But in fairness, Congresswoman Maria Salazar got there first. Salazar is a longtime news anchor from Miami who a little over a year ago was elected to Congress as a Republican. She now sits on the Foreign Affairs Committee. A week ago, a reporter from the Gray Zone asked Salazar what she thought of a no-fly zone. Here's what she said.
Do you support a no-fly zone in Ukraine?
I support everything that has to do with punishing Vladimir Putin and helping the Ukrainians.
Wouldn't that mean direct conventional warfare with Russia?
I don't know what it will mean, but you know, freedom is not free.
So you don't know what a no-fly zone will mean. If you have to shoot down Russian planes, I mean.
Of course.
I don't know what it will mean, but you know freedom is not free. Now, we made fun of that answer last week when we first showed you that clip. But now what we mocked is the consensus in Washington. We don't know what's going to happen. We've got to do it immediately. That's the argument you're hearing. At this point, no one wants to say it out loud, but it is true. At this point, a shooting war with Russia seems inevitable. How could war with Russia not be inevitable? Virtually everyone with power is for it. We remain against it. We think that joining a war in Eastern Europe will hurt this country, though to be clear, when and if that war starts, we will be praying passionately for America's total victory. Unlike so many in the foreign policy establishment, we love this country above all.
All right, guys, what did you think about that video? Tell me if you're not just blown away about the things that are happening and how the president of Ukraine is asking us, well, better yet, demanding that we shoot down Russian planes. I mean, don't they know that if we were to literally shoot those planes down, that's going to make us go into World War III? And nobody's wanting to go to war because war is a very, very bad thing, and so many lives can be lost. And one reason why I was blown away about what she said, I understand freedom costs, but we're not the ones at war. We can help. But why do we got to shoot their planes down? And I'm glad that Americans are not for it. I hope no one is for it. But again, everybody has their own opinion, and you can do whatever you want to do. But literally, it's the soldiers who I am really concerned about because it's their lives on the line. I don't understand how someone who is not in that position, in a soldier's position, how they can say, yes, let's just shoot them down. Well, the first thing that came to my mind is, yeah, but if we go to war, you're not the one that's out there on the front line getting shot at. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it's easy to say, let's shoot them down, and you're not the one having to pay the sacrifice to go over to another country and engage in literally military warfare. I mean, this is crazy. So let me know your thoughts down below, guys. I just thought that was kind of crazy that she was so easily to say that. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. So let me know your thoughts. But I wanted to jump in about this stimulus because high gas prompts calls for tax breaks and stimulus checks. Everybody has been asking about information on stimulus checks, and I wanted to jump in and literally give you guys everything that is going on with these checks. So the gas prices, they've soared since the beginning of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, adding extra pressure to consumers already dealing with their higher costs at the pump after a year of rapid inflation. In response, the Biden administration has been aggressively exploring ways to make up for the loss of Russian oil imports. I talked to a guy today and he said, you know, it's crazy because they do less than 5% is what we get from Russia. It shouldn't affect us as much as they're saying it should. Let me know in the comments below because I believe many of you have said the same thing, that we don't get that much from Russia. Why is it hurting us so bad? And this really doesn't make sense, and we're still going to continue to talk about it, but let's keep reading. So most experts, though, say that there's little the president can do to substantially reduce gas prices in the short term. I don't believe that because I guarantee you if he can make things happen through an executive order and bypass a lot of other people to get things done, surely he can get this done. But it's not their top priority. It sounds like Ukraine is their top priority, which really stinks because we have to deal with the inflation and the high gas prices. So despite Republicans' call to ramp up drilling in the U.S., economists say that limitations on domestic production are mostly market-driven and that it would take months for new wells to start producing enough oil to affect supply levels. Yeah, but the thing is, this ain't going to be the first time that we're going to run into issues. If you get it going now, it will be a long-term fix instead of just a band-aid instead of a short-term fix. At the same time, green energy solutions championed by the Democrats are generally seen as long-term means of decreasing dependence on oil rather than a viable, suitable in the immediate future. With limited options for addressing the underlying supply issues, lawmakers have proposed a variety of potential ways to help Americans bear the burden of rising fuel costs. Maryland's governor and state legislator have agreed to a temporary suspension of state gas taxes, an idea that has been pitched in several other states and to the federal level. California government, Gavin Newsom recently floated the idea of a tax rebate. What does that tax rebate do? It's to put money back in the pockets of people struggling to afford high fuel costs. Some progressive Democrats have proposed creating a new system of regular stimulus checks funded by a steep tax on the oil company profits. So remember, the Democrats, they're really trying to push for taxing those big oil companies. Those checks would be sent out quarterly. And look, anything's better than nothing. Even if it was every quarter, you're getting some money. Anything would be better than not doing anything at all. And I'm sure that, of course, more would be better, but at least they're doing something. They should be getting this thing going. There should not be any debate. But of course, there is debate. Each of these proposals, varying degrees, have supporters and detractors. The general agreement, though, that any of them would mostly help along the margins, but the real relief from consumers won't come until gas price drops. There's a battle, there's a debate going on, and they're literally not doing anything about it, and people are suffering. Listen, it's time to get things moving. Yes, there's some positive things getting started, but what are they going to do with them? Are they going to go ahead and get them passed and get people these stimulus checks, which is, it would be everybody, or are they just going to sit on it and just argue about it? Come on, guys. We've got to get things in order and get people the help they need. The logic behind a gas tax holiday is simple. If you don't tax extra taxes on top of the underlying cost, gas will be cheaper. The federal gas tax is about 18 cents per gallon, and state taxes range from 17 cents to 51 cents per gallon. But skeptics say it's not certain that those savings would be passed on to consumers rather to those in the oil industry and the gas stations. There are also concerns that a tax holiday would sap funding from critical government programs like highway renewal projects. So they're taking this money and they're literally trying to put it elsewhere to get things moving. Look, I love new highways. I love when they fix the roads. But if I can't put gas in my car to drive down that road, what good does a road do me? So what's next? With so much uncertainty surrounding the oil supply chain, experts are wary of making predictions about how high gas prices will rise and when they might begin to drop off. Most expect a spike in fuel costs heading into the summer months, but many factors, including the possibility of a peace in Ukraine or another major wave, could bring them back down. So the pandemic, peace with Ukraine, those things are kind of up in the air as to whether or not the price is going to go back down. So I'm hoping that things get better. I'm hoping that they take the funds from the gas taxes and they really help out our nation, get some checks going to everybody. But I will say this, they can make anything happen. If Biden wanted to, if he wanted to get checks out, I guarantee they can make it happen. But for some odd reason, sending out stimulus checks is not the main focus. But here was something I came across that was really alarming. Russia warns the United States, we have might to put you in your place. If that's not a threat or provoke, I don't know what is, because we're just doing our best to help a country that you're destroying, literally, that we're helping them. I mean, they need help. They're getting literally bombarded and people are suffering because of this President Putin. And what he's saying is, if we're trying to mess up their plot to tear Russia apart, they will put us in our place. That's a very, very bold statement to say against the United States, considering we are probably the number one, have the number one military in the world. That's very bold to say something like that, considering they were literally asking help from China to deal with Ukraine. Can you imagine if they dealt with the United States? It would be over before it even started. I'm just saying. But there again, I thought you guys should see that they're literally telling us they would put us in our place. So let's get on to some more positive news moving forward. So in Louisville, Kentucky, residents could get in line for $27 million in stimulus aid. The Louisville, Kentucky residents can apply for rent relief thanks to an additional allocation of funds. The city has helped 42,000 residents already with its rental assistance program. And I really wanted to let you know what was going on with this, because a lot of people are struggling to make ends meet and pay for rent. So how to qualify for the rent relief? Because rent relief programs are being run at the state or local levels, there are slightly different guidelines that come into play into terms qualifying for aid. But if you're a resident of Louisville and are behind on your rent payments, you might qualify for assistance if you can certify to one of these things. Just one, you or someone in your household has experienced job loss during the pandemic. You or someone in your household has experienced a reduction in hours or drop in wages. And I'm telling you, I've heard so many people saying, hey, I'm not working as much because they're not scheduling us any hours. you or someone in your household has incurred additional expenses in the wake of the pandemic. You may also qualify for rental assistance if you can certify to the fact that you've experienced another type of negative impact since the pandemic outbreak. You'll need to show proof of income as a part of starting your application, but I almost guarantee you 7 out of 10 people meet those requirements, and that is a huge thing that they're doing. I'm so happy that they're doing it, but they're not the only ones. Oregon will get another $16 million for rent assistance program. They're literally going out there and they said that, you know what, we're going to provide one more week of additional estimated 2,200 households. So you definitely want to jump in there and see what's going on. This information will be in the link below. But guys, I'm glad they're doing something. I'm glad that they're trying to help. I still can't comprehend how these governments are really doing things to take care of those in their state when the Congress can't seem to do anything. So it doesn't make sense, but I thought you guys might want to hear about this. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. Guys, thank you so much for watching, for all the time that you spent to take the comments. I respect you. I respect your time. Help us hit our goal of 60,000 subscribers. We're getting so close, guys. Every single day, it's closer and closer and closer. So thank you so much. If you have any questions or need anything, let me know down in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Until next time, I'm John Muro. Peace.